Well, the last 4 or 5 months have been pretty arduous, but definitely worth it. Let's see here. I've recently discovered a song uh, by Max McNown, A Little Bit Free, I think it's called. It speaks of a breakup, but despite the fact he's more free. Um, kind of relates to thoughts that have meandered among, kind of floated around in my head. I've experienced, I guess we all experience trauma at some level. And it all starts at very young ages. We all tend to lash out at each other. And we totally forget why, or we don't put meaning into why. At the time, if someone lashes out at you, and you lash out back, it doesn't occur to you that you lashing out back is your own trauma. We all tend to find ourselves in a crowd of equals. We all tend to find our friend group, our romantic partners, and our family members that we get along with. Of similar, we spend our time with those who are of a similar level of maturity. Because as we age, we can only mature based on how well we process our trauma. And that song kind of made me realize, or reminded me of, how people in the past have lashed out at me, and I've snapped back at them. Years ago, an acquaintance had ripped me off. I hired him to help me out with a project, and he sabotaged the work and stole the very large referral that we had coming. I would have been the boss for an ongoing collection of jobs, but he was too short-sighted. Obviously, that broke up our friendship, but at the time when he did it, I was disgusted. That's the only word that could describe the sense of essence towards him. As I age, because this was several years ago, I guess almost 10 years ago, I realized that he was probably coming from a space of jealousy or envy, because I was the hotshot working on his own, and I was the boss hiring him. What I now realize what was going on is that he was jealous. I was too frustrated, hurt, disgusted, and basically just pissed off that I lost a very lucrative opportunity. And I couldn't believe someone would do such a thing. So disgust is everything that clouded my mind. We all experience trauma, and because we all process it differently, we don't necessarily know how it's going to show up later. I, at this point, realize he's probably lived a very difficult life. His parents, if they were around, were probably not very good parents. He was either loved too hard or too little. I was a struggling businessman with a nice bump in an opportunity to increase my income in a short period of time, and he took it from me. It was a sort of devastating blow. I've always had my health, so I try hard not to feel too sorry for myself. But that was definitely an emotional hit, and I do think about it. But as time passes, compassion replaces the resentment and the disgust. It all comes down to the fact that he's lacking a certain amount of consciousness. He's stinted, his maturity is stinted, and his consciousness is stinted. At the time, I don't think he was capable of understanding what was going on. I don't know if he'll ever mature to the level of understanding of why screwing me over was so significant. I don't know where he is these days, but as time passes, it sounds stupid to say time heals all wounds, but like I said earlier, that song has reminded me of these thoughts because now I'm more evolved, and he probably is too.